Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks. And yes, that is the King Dragon Type 59, or the McDragon, as a lot of people have taken to calling it. And this is the revisit of this tank. Now, it was released a couple of months ago. I wasn't very keen on it. In fact, yeah, I was a bit salty in the video. And it's my opinion on the looks of it still haven't changed. I still do not like the look of it one little bit. But because a lot of people said that it just didn't feel competitive in its original form of it when it was released, you know, to go against tier 10s because of the gun that it had, because it still had the 100mm that the Type 59 had, but it had some very slight buffs from it, from the standard Type 59, which obviously gets preferential matchmaking, which doesn't see tier 10. And the general consensus was that it just wasn't enough. It needed something else. It either needed changes to the gun, or it needed a bigger engine, or it just needed something, needed some sort of change. And Wargaming obliged. And they actually buffed it, which is why, because that's been happening quite a bit recently about buffs and nerfs, I now say that the stats of this tank, and any tank that I compare it to, are correct at the time of recording this video. There you go, said it. So yeah, quick revisit on this. I'm not going to go on about it too much in the garage, because the only thing that changed was the gun, and it is now, if we can get to it, it is now a 105mm L7C. Now, there was, and I tried to find this again, I couldn't quite find it, but if I remember rightly, because this is something I did look up a while ago, I believe there was an attempt to sort of upgun some of the Type 59s at one point, and I think they were fitted with versions of the Centurion 105mm gun, I believe, and I think that's what this one is supposed to be representing. So it has changed a little bit. Well, I say a little bit, some of it's changed quite a bit. The aim time is the same at 2.3 seconds, that's the same as it was before. The accuracy has been improved slightly from 0.37 to 0.36. Very small improvement. Kind of feels as though it's made a difference, but it is hard to say because it is such a small improvement. Rate of fire has been reduced though, from 6.67 rounds a minute down to 4.55. However, the penetration has been upped from 190 to 200. Still a bit low for the sort of tier. There are a lot of tier 8 premiums and tier 8 tech trees in the game with sort of 212 with 90mm. This is a 105, so you know, still a little bit on the low side, but I suppose it can be argued that this, you know, it does have a good turret, and you see, the thing is, it has to be balanced against its own tier as well as sort of tier 10s, if you see what I mean. Because if they gave it more pen, I think it probably would be overpowered within its own tier. And it's the same with the premium ammunition. That one did get a slight buff as well, from 247 to 250 on your premium, and again, same sort of thing. Possibly could do with a bit more pen on its premium to deal with the tier 10s, but then it raises the issue of the premium would be far too overpowered for, again, its own tier. And as we all know, the premium ammunition system kind of is open to abuse with the sort of premium spamming, and you know, it's just one of those things. It's there, you don't have to spend real money on it, and you get a, you know, higher pen sort of shell, and people do abuse it, unfortunately. I don't agree with that. You know, you might not agree with that, but it is what it is, and it's just how the current premium ammunition situation is. And while it stays as it is going to be open to abuse. I really don't know what they could do with it, other than doing what they did with Blitz, which I think they kept the pen higher on the premium ammunition, but they actually dropped the amount of damage they did, so it does less damage than standard rounds. So it is more of a tactical choice. So I could, you know, hit this thing with my normal ammo and do some, you know, do whatever damage. Or I could guarantee a pen, hit it with premium ammo, but I'll do a bit less damage. So, you know, it makes it more of a choice. But yeah, I think possibly ought to do something like that, or at least test it out. But anyway, also the damage has changed. That's why we've got a drop in rate of fire. So damage was 250, which is a pretty standard 100mm gun in the game sort of damage at this sort of tier, and we now have 390 damage, which is a big whacking chunk of damage per shot, which is nice. When they first did it, caught a few people out. So yeah, that's all that's basically changed, is just that. But also coming along with that is the rounds, the shells, which it uses APCR as standard, which I'll go and have a look at in a second. So yeah, the gun has completely changed the performance of this tank. It is now competitive. In fact, it is now pretty damn good fun. I'm doing this now because it's still in the store, and if it wasn't, I'll be 100% honest with you, my opinion on this tank has turned around. Not on the looks, let me just get that clear, but on the performance of this vehicle, and that's kind of what it's about. And yeah, that gun has been a game changer for this tank. It is much more competitive now. It is still hard in tier 10, but then again, what tier 8 isn't hard to play in a tier 10 match? But yeah, the performance has completely changed with this tank, and if there was a plain version, I would snap it up in an instant. I really would. I hope Wargaming listen and do consider doing a plain version of this for the people that really don't like the look of it and really do not want to buy a tank that looks like this. Do a plain version, please. I know this was supposed to be for some special occasion or something, but please do a plain version. I'm telling you, you would sell a lot. You'd probably sell more than this if you announced you were doing a plain version. But anyway, I don't think it'll ever happen, unfortunately. But yeah, the rounds. So APCR is standard with a crazy good. Well, I say crazy good, bit of an exaggeration, but it is pretty damn good. Yeah, pretty good shell velocity of 1,460 meters. That is good. I can't think what it is at the moment, but the one of the better ones with that is the M51 Super Sherman, you know, the French one, not the Revolorize, although I think that does have the same shell velocity, but that has really good shell velocity. I think that's about 1,400, roughly, if I remember rightly, but don't quote me on that because I probably got it wrong, as I do get things wrong. But yeah, the shell velocity on these is pretty good. Obviously, you've got heat as standard, as a premium ammunition, sorry, so shell velocity on heat is never quite as good, but 980 meters, you can't grumble. But yeah, the shell velocity on your standard rounds is pretty nice. Obviously, APCR as standard does come with some slight drawbacks over armor piercing, but not as many as premium APCR. And I think, yeah, I know some people might be like, well, what drawbacks? Basically, the difference in APCR and armor piercing is APCR loses penetration greater over distance than armor piercing, and also has decreased normalization against angled armor, so it's a bit less effective against angled armor or sort of highly angled armor. Normalization is how far the tip digs in before it actually, either ricochets or actually pens. But standard APCR, I think, doesn't have as much of an effect of on the normalization as premium APCR. I can't remember the exact figures, but I think normal is something like I think it might only be a sort of 2-degree difference or something like that. But anyway, yeah, it's not quite as bad, but there are the odd drawback to it. But it's not as bad against sort of angled armor as premium APCR. I've probably just confused you more there. I'll have to do a proper video on the different ammo types and sort of their effects on different armors or something, that sort of thing. But anyway, let's just get into the gameplay and look at it in action. Right, so this is the first of the clips that I've got for you. It's a tier 8 match. Both of them are actually tier 8 matches in this one. And I don't want everybody to sort of get caught up in any, I know it sounds a bit daft, but any hype or anything like this. There is a lot of hype surrounding the sort of the original Type 59. And I suppose now with the gun change on this, there is a little bit about this as well. So, I'm not trying to get everybody to rush out and buy it or anything like that. I'm just giving you the info on it now that it's had a different gun and my opinions on it. And as I said before, it's been a game changer for this tank, and it really does, it really has kind of like changed its performance and its I can't think of the word now, complete brain fart, competitiveness, that's it. But yeah, don't sort of, I'm not trying to say everybody should rush out and buy it, but if you've been in and ahhing, that sort of thing, not quite sure, you wanted to know how it sort of works now with the newer gun, yeah, it works a hell of a lot better. And as I said before, if there was a plain version, I would buy it in an instant. It'd be like, shut up Wargaming and take my money. Because I do like the Type 59, but I'm not. I do think there is and I know, we're sort of here to talk about this, but I'll just, what I'm like, I just ramble on about all sorts of crap. But anyway, yeah, there is a lot of hype around the regular Type 59. I think more so on the PC because it's not available for sale ever, as far as I'm aware, and it's only ever given away as prizes now and has been for a few years. It's not as rare on console, so I don't think it's got quite the same level of hype, but there is a lot about it. And the thing with the Type 59 is that it sort of, there was, I know especially when I first started playing as well, this sort of mythos, and it sort of seemed to be this sort of semi-omnipotent, sort of indestructible medium, and it's not. I mean, the thing with the Type 59 is it doesn't really have any outstanding strengths, but it doesn't have any outstanding weaknesses either. It's just everything kind of comes together to make a nice tank. As I said, with no particular weaknesses and no particular outstanding. I don't say strengths, because it does have a decent turret and it is very good at brawling up close because of that decent turret. But any outstanding features, if you see what I mean, like some tanks, like the Scorpion G for instance, major weakness in its armour, but it's got quite nice sort of mobility and it's got a pretty damn nice gun on it. That's its sort of outstanding feature, is its gun, but its weakness is its armour. But with the Type 59, as I said, it doesn't really have any outstanding features, it doesn't really have any outstanding weaknesses, and it all comes together to make a pretty nice tank. And I think a lot of its success is because of its matchmaking, because it's only got because it's got preferential matchmaking. I think that's where a lot of it comes from, because it is very competitive within its own tier. A bit less so recently with I say recently. The introduction of some of the other tank lines, Japanese Super Heavies and things like that, have made it a bit less competitive within its own tier. But it is still a very competitive tank. But there's a lot of people that there is all this sort of big hype about it and everything. And it is, like I say, it is a nice tank. Not everybody's going to get on with it. But yeah, it just, as I said, it just all sort of comes together. But that's my opinion on it. And don't forget that is, I think, still for sale in the premium tech tree as well. So if you are just wanting the regular one, you will save yourself quite a bit of money. I think it's only about 7,500 if I remember rightly, and this is 10,000 base, I think. But yeah, this is, I mean, before I couldn't really see a reason to buy this over the regular Type 59 other than this was available. Now, personally, I kind of can see a reason to have both, because they are quite different. And yeah, my voice just went then, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. As I said, if it was plain, I would buy it in an instant. I must admit, I have been tempted a couple of times since sort of getting some of this footage. I have been tempted a couple of times, but I don't know. And again, it's subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, after all. But for me, I just can't. I don't think I can bring myself to play it or to own it. With its looks at the moment. And some people do like it, and that's fair enough. Everybody has their own opinion, as I said before. But yeah, it has been a bit of a game changer. You see, before, the mobility in Tier 10 was a bit of an issue, because you couldn't quite get around the flanks, and with the way that a lot of the maps are now, flanking is bloody hard on a lot of the maps, because a lot of the maps are corridors now, so you don't really have that option for flanking. Yeah, probably should have just stopped and waited there. I've got loads of health to play with. I don't know why I didn't just stop and take the shot. I think I was probably trying to get around on him. Cost me a bit of damage. Just one of those things, I suppose. But yeah, Tier 8, this thing is a bit of a beast, or can be a bit of a beast if played properly. It can be quite potent. Tier 9, again, you've got to be careful. Tier 10, you've got to be very careful. Everything can pen you up there. And that's the thing with this, the hull is only 100mm. It's got some alright angling to it, but if you don't angle it yourself as well, the hull will get penned fairly easily by a lot of stuff. But as I said, if you can get close and start brawling, the turret is pretty tough. Although, again, it does suffer from that very, that effect. I mean, there's a lot of premium spammers in the game anyway that'll just spam premium at everything. I was in a match the other day, and it was I can't remember where it was or what it was on, but I was in a Tier 8 match anyway. And there was an Object 252U defender on the enemy team just spamming premium and everything. And he was, he's top tier, and that's unnecessary. But the Type 59, and I think this to some degree as well, especially in the Tier 8 matches, you don't get it as much in Tier 9 and 10 because they can pen you anyway. but there is a degree of, oh shit, it's a Type 59, load the gold. And, you know, I found that with the regular Type 59 as time has gone on, because I've had a few people say to me, has the regular Type 59 had any nerfs or anything else recently? And I've, you know, sort of answered, I don't think so, but I'll go and find out. And I've gone and asked, you know, whoever at Wargaming, and they said, no, no nerfs, anything like that. And it hasn't, you know, and I didn't think it had at the time. And it is just the fact that some people, because of the sort of this sort of aura of I don't know, like I say, this sort of hype that's around the Type 59, a lot of people just think it is kind of invincible, and they just see one and just load the gold. And you will get that in Tier 8 matches with this as well. But yeah, I mean, like I say, you know, I stand by what I said in the original review. In its original release, it was awful. As I said, I couldn't see a point in buying it, and it just wasn't competitive, and it needed something doing. You know, sort of credit where credit's due. Wargaming listened to everybody and did something about it. Not very often they seem to do that, but they did this time. So yeah, but yeah, they did something about it, and yeah, you know, there's not much more to say about it really. It's completely changed tank, as I said. The gun, you know, what they did work. I was unsure whether the buff that they did to it was going to be enough, but I think it was. I think if they did anything more to it, it would have been overpowered. Definitely way overpowered for its own tier. But yeah, it's well, like I say, I like it now. I just wish it was plain. But back, I think I'm just going to go on about the gameplay. We're getting a bit tongue-tied this morning. I've not slept very well. My wife, she's got a bad cold, unfortunately, and sort of just not slept very well. So I do feel a bit all over the place today. And yeah, just one of those days. Very tired, and I really got a bit concerned last night. Really smacked my thumb trying to shut the skylight in the kids' room upstairs. And really slammed my thumb, and it was a bit swollen and very painful last night, but it's alright today. It's usable, but still hurts a bit, and nothing's broken, so I'm good. But yes, just one of those things. Now, where are you going? Yeah. Did he pen, or did he just knock my tracks off? I think he just knocked my tracks off there. Now this, some of you may have seen the results of this game on Twitter, and it was... Yeah, well, I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, some of you may have seen the results of this game on Twitter. But yeah, this is the one. Now, if I can just get his commander's hatch, there we go. Did take a hit from him. Thought I would. To be honest, that was a bit sloppy by me. I thought my hull was at a different angle, and that he might have only just been able to see my turret. But yeah, that was a bit sloppy. Well, let's try and get rid of the Tiger P. Probably not the most threatening thing there, but now you know, they do have good armor from the front. This has 200mm pen, that has 200mm of armor. There are, you know, a few places front they could have penned him, but he could have been problematic, could have been. But now that Lego, whatever it is, anyway, that one is dead. So all that matters, it's a tank, it's dead. That's, you know, that's the important bit. Now, is that T43, is it that? My, as I said before, my preview window is very small. He's gone. I didn't really want to take it from the IS-2. I was hoping he was going to do that. I was trying to get him to take a shot at me, and I took it on my turret. Managed to zip past him. And if I can just get the reload in... Can I? Yes, I can. Just... I thought I might take another hit there, you know. I think the reloads are going to be fairly similar, although, again, don't forget this is the press account. Don't forget I have got a fully skilled crew in here, so, you know, my rate of fire will be slightly better, and various other little bits will be slightly better. You know, it doesn't make a massive difference. It's very, very small percentages that they actually alter, but I just want you to be aware that it is there. Now, it's looking a bit hairy. There's only 3 of us left. I did put a hit on that Tiger 2. I'm trying to see if he's looking in this direction and coax him into firing, which I didn't, but he did fire at me, and luckily it just bounced off my turret. I am very grateful of the Type 59's turret. And yeah, took a hit from the Tiger 2 there, and from an SU-152, which I was unaware of, so that was not a very nice exchange. But it did allow me to notice that the Tiger 2 only has a stock turret, so that gives me another option for penning him. And somebody else put a hit on him. He's still alive, but we're being capped, and I decided to leave him alive and try and get back to cap and help out there. That was a mistake, which will come back to get me, I think. But yeah, that was a mistake. Now, yeah, when you hear that noise, you know, I heard that sentence with the last one left, and I looked at the team list at the top, and the only thing that went through my mind was, oh, shit. And especially, oh, that was lucky. Again, trying to coax him into firing. But yeah, especially because I'm not in a very good position for this tank. It doesn't have very good gun depression. And I'm in a position where I really could do with good gun depression. And oh, look what's just popped up behind me on the map. The one that I left alive. He's on very low health. Can I kill him? Well, I can, but he got me as well. Oh no, he didn't. The T-32 got me, so I did take out the Tiger 2. I never realised that at the time. I thought the Tiger 2 got me, and it was an eye for an eye. Never noticed that time, but yeah, the T-32 got me. So if I'd have not left him alive, that Tiger 2 possibly could have taken out the T-32, but I don't think I would have taken out the entire team. Very, very doubtful of that. But yeah, it was a bit of a frustrating loss, but I do like that tank now. So there you go. The Type 59 King Dragon, or the Mick Dragon revisit. The gun, it was enough of a buff. It has made a hell of a difference to that tank, and it is now competitive in tier 9 and 10 matches. And like I say, I stand by what I said in the previous review, because at the time, in the tank's, you know, format when it was released, it was awful. It wasn't competitive, etc. But yeah, it has been a bit of a game changer now. So if you were on the sidelines over buying this tank, hopefully now you've got the information that you need to make a decision one way or the other. And don't forget, it is in the store, and all 3 bundles I think are available at the moment. So you've got the Ultimate with all the gubbins, and then you've got the base at 10,000. But please don't forget that I'm pretty sure that at this time anyway, when this goes up, that the regular Type 59 should still be in the premium tech tree, and is about 2,500 gold cheaper. So there you go. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that one. I'll be back with another video tomorrow, hopefully. No, I will be back with another video tomorrow. It will be the Crafts Panther 4 review. I will do one of those. I've got the stuff for that together. So yeah, until then, take care of that, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.